Hello everyone, SpeeDMan here, and welcome back to part 5 of our Let's Learn Civilization 6 Korea run. So, today's episode, we're going to show you where we left off, where we just got our settlers going here. We did lose the eventual and potential build of Patala Palace, but we did recover the production in a way that we could actually go ahead and just pump out a quick settler. So that does work out. So we have a couple settlers, that works out the plan very well. We're going to go ahead and get these guys settled in this particular episode. And then what we're going to do here is, since we have the trader done, we have a couple options. We could go ahead and work on something practical here. This stuff here isn't going to be useful, so that's basically just going to be left for the rest of the game until there's a prevalent need for it. We will want to consider picking up a spy. If we can get some spies going, we could probably do some damage to our stuff here, maybe affect loyalty pressure. There's some small things we could do that can provide us good positive benefits. This guy here, I want you to just kind of skip turn. It's going to have to skip turn a few times, but I'd rather him do that. And then we'll just let him finish off with that settler here, and we'll put the settler down there. And then we'll put a Saloon there. And then that'll be solid. And then we'll have kind of what we generally need. We are very much going to be in another Dark Age, that's fine. Not very much we can do at the moment with that. It's just not a lot of sources of points for us. We are going to pick up a little bit of points here. So if we do, what we can do is we could hold off on building these cities. We're going to have them ready and primed, and then we'll wait till the next era. The reason is so that way we can get some era score from that being ravaged by natural disaster. Let's go ahead and pick that up. More Diplo favor means that eventually I can sell that back to the AI for good value. So, let's see, we're going to give 1 gold. That's perfect, and we'll set position there. We're going to have you sleep for now, just so you don't have to keep having a notification come up. That's going to help that come back, and that's going to give me a little bit of science per turn, and also a couple more production per turn. That's perfect. Iron Mine does not hurt. In this case, having another settler wouldn't hurt, because then we can eventually push better position. We're just going to continue to focus on food growth in the city. We do want to get that industrial zone earlier. The earlier we get it, the better. A dam isn't going to do very much in those other positions, so that's why it's better that we just have an aqueduct there, and then we could probably put another mine or something around here, and that would be good, but not a major priority. So we've got another 3 turns until the next era. That's going to get done. That's going to get done. That's also done next turn. Perfect. So good thing is we have plenty of mines here. So all these mines are not only getting science, but they're also providing us a lot of nice little bits of, just nice, little bits of production here. And also, more importantly, all these mines here could potentially be strategic resource locations later in the game. So there is potential value here. I'm going to bring you up top here. You're going to go up top here. We have a few turns, so we can actually wait, 2-3 turns for these cities, or we can settle them now and then just get them going. The earlier we get them up, the better, because we settle there. 2, 3, yeah, so we'll have to settle there, and then just start working this area here. And then we'll have to find the best ways that we can to really get these cities up and running. Trade routes are going to be critical, though. Absolutely, trade routes are going to be critical. We are producing a good amount of culture per turn, so we are competitive with science now. We're getting closer to being where we want to be. Once we have these cities up and running with a couple saloons there, and then eventually, convert this city That will put us in a very positive position. And the reason for that is that we'll be able to really start focusing that general growth the way we want to. So we can gain control of that. We put another civil in there, put more farms around here, and really just amp up our empire here. Having this city would be very much in many ways helpful, not only because it's going to give us a couple of amenities, like that's a beautiful location for us to have, a couple plantations right here. That'll help us a lot. We'll also have an industry opportunity here because we'll have that one there. We'll need to get some of these other amenities up and running. So like this guy here, instead of that way, let's go ahead and just bring him there. Get these amenities going. The more amenities we have, the less of an issue we'll have with our yields. Because we're in a dark age, having less loyalty pressure or less loyalty issues due to amenities, so on and so forth, are little positives that we can make. So just put one into that. Later on, if we see that there's plenty being put into it, then we'll consider options. We have very heavy amount of diplomatic favor per turn, or just in general. So whoever can give us like 4 per, we can just make a small deal to pick up a little bit. I may just go ahead and I had the idea of waiting a couple turns. I would rather just go ahead and get that going now.
We are losing.
Good. So we have our 2 cities that we're looking for. We'll buy that. We'll buy that. We'll put Seoul in there. Put Seoul in there. It's perfect. See, on the exact tile too. That's incredible. What are the odds of me literally just having to call that? I was like, yeah, and there's a good chance there's going to be a strategic resource spawn, and as we get coal, literally, coal's right there. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. That's very good. Also, yeah, that's okay. Couple turns off another Dark Age. That's no problem. That's excellent, though. That puts us in a much better position so we can have some serious production to work off of. The Watcha here, we can eventually go for. I mean, what they do is it essentially has a higher attack. Can't move and attack in the same turn. That's no problem. What we'll do is we'll just set positions and we'll be able to allow us to have good strength, so that's fine. We're not even concerned about that right now because eventually we're going to be focusing on a proper military push, and that's only going to happen once we are ready to go after Turkey here. Or the Georgian Empire, sorry. I think it's time we probably made peace, though. Because tomorrow there's nothing really beneficial for us to have war here. We have our 2 cities here that are going to be applying pressure, so that's okay. But eventually, as we grow population, these cities will be able to do a good bit, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and just make peace. She wants peace for peace. She does not have anything of good value, so I will just go ahead and pick up some small trade deals. Giving too many resources to my competitors would be a mistake. It would just not be a safe idea. He has niter, but as you can see, he doesn't really value that yet, but he will in time. 8. Just pick up a little bit of gold per turn. You can get that back pretty soon. 8 or 9 turns, we'll have that again, so that's fine. Ideally, if we can settle a city here eventually, once I have a settler set up here, I'm going to settle him there. That way we can just keep our pressure in a positive position, and then we'll be in a good spot. So these cities aren't going to grow very well, so let's go ahead and get that trader. Let's click on the other one. Have you transfer it to probably Pyongyang, since that city doesn't have any food growth at all. In the meantime, what we could probably do is actually go ahead and buy that, and then have you go to that one. and that will give us just a little bit of tempo to work off of. Got you here. I'm not worried about a lumber mill. Not a really big deal. Watermill is done in this city, so let's consider options here. We could probably go for an entertainment complex here if we want to just play it safe. Cannot put it here or here. There aren't any islands or anything, so this tile isn't going to have any utility, unfortunately, for a while. So we could probably consider doing that, because we're at a point where they're unhappy, and that's going to get worse, so we do want to be a little preventative with that. So we'll go ahead and just work on that. If we deal with that, that'll give us a little bit of a just a little time. It'll just buy us a little bit of time, and that's really what we're looking for here is time. So we're going to go into the industrial era. Again, not the end of the world that we have another dark age. You know, the only thing we need to be careful about is if she has a golden age. So we're going to find out.
Blast, build,
So
battle.
there is niter, and we're going to go with the highest food growth one available. So that's going to be Jinju here, since it's got 6 food. That's going to help this city a lot. See, immediately this city is losing loyalty. So what we need to do is we need to take, let's see, that's what? 12 loyalty per turn. That's lovely. Pick up a monument. That'll bring that down a little bit. Of course, yeah, did she get a, she got a golden age? No, she got a normal age, but I had another dark age, so that's just making this more difficult for us to recover. So we want to keep that city, so we need to be careful about this. We'll go ahead and pick up Hixon Draconis because we are going to need to go ahead and just really heavily focus on exploration here. We're going to go ahead and also pick up, you know, potentially a nice little, like a quadrireme. It's going to take too long. Too bad we can't make a galley. Doesn't have to be anything major, just a basic unit. Even a scout would take a while, because he's now a skirmisher, so Theater Square got done with that. Good. Let's go ahead and pick up a monument. If we have... Okay, so I got to do a little thinking as well. Okay, so if we pick up the loyalty per turn with this, we'll wanna go ahead and just think about what we want to do. So if we take this off, put this on, and then we get a... Okay, so that's perfect. We'll do this. Bring you to that. And then immediately ship over, say... Can live with that waiting a little bit. We don't need that right now. Let's get that going first. And then remove that. Magnus, you're immediately going to go to here. It's going to help this city just get neutralized a little bit. Once you settle in, that's going to help bring it back to positive. And then we'll be able to get some tempo going. Once we have our loyalty sorted out, then we'll be okay. So not as much of an emergency as it seems, but we do want to make sure we stay ahead of that. Otherwise, it'll just get worse. Let's see here. Constructed by multi-engineers, does not cost a charge, but does cost iron and coal. Greatly improves movement speed of any unit moving from railroad tiles. Trade routes can multiply the gold they get, so that's good. Embarked unit speed, that's something we're going to need. We're going to definitely make good use of that. In the meantime, though, let's go ahead and start getting ourselves set up here. So we're 5 turns away from picking up the beginning of another industrial zone. This industrial zone is going to be a very strong one. It's going to be +1 here. That's going to be +2. And plus, let's see, another one once we have the 2 things here. And then we'll have to see if we can put anything here that's going to provide us even more adjacency bonuses. So in the meantime, what we're going to do is, since we are looking for better science output, eventually we're going to go down the route for chemistry. We're not actually as far as it seems. It's quite a few science per turn that we need to get, for that. So we're going to go down that route. Once we have access to research labs, then we're going to really be able to pop off our science growth the way we want. Then we can focus on, maybe getting oil, picking up some other stuff, or making a focus afterwards, on something like this. That could be our science push here, or at minimum, we can just go here. And then we can go into rocketry and get some of our spaceports up and running early, and then go from there. That would also be a good thing for us to do. So let's go ahead and set up towards that. It's going to take a long time, of course, but we'll be able to do that in the modern era. But first, in the industrial era here, let's focus ourselves on maximizing our growth here, getting the loyalty kind of sorted out in this city. Good, so that friendship we can renew. Let's go ahead and pick up nice little bit of gold per turn here. And now you have the means. You have 8 gold per turn. Let's give you 40. It's a nice little bit of gold as well. Bada bing, bada boom. Now I know he's going to be good for that, so what we'll do is we'll pick up, we'll probably pick up, an economic alliance here. And then you will pick up a research alliance. And that helps us a lot. Loyalty, less of an issue now. We're back up, so loyalty is going back up. That's perfect. That's kind of what we need, it's just to provide us enough of a loyalty boost just to keep us kind of where we want. These cities will start to come back a little bit with loyalty pressure, so not a problem. Let's go ahead and get that plantation. And then afterwards, since we have 2 more charges, we pick up that and pick up that. And then we'll have enough loyalty for us to be able to really stay competitive there. So that is no problem at all. We do have the potential to pick up a corporation, so we have 2T here. That's enough for an industry. We have 1 here. We have another one elsewhere, right, around this area. So I can see he wants that a lot. I'm going to save up on that and then make some good deals. So that's no problem. So that's on the way there. It'll take a long time, but once we have access to sail in there, that'll help us a lot. What we can do, though, is go ahead and let's pick up a watermill. It'll go from a little bit of production in food that we have, and that'll help that. We are going to want to go ahead and get this city properly growing. This is going to be a super slow grower, but can be a very powerful city. That's also going to be a really good production tile right there, so we're going to want to pick that up as well. So we're still losing loyalty here in this city. Once we have another population, that will help a little bit. And I'm hoping eventually, as we develop more of our economy here, we get something going here. So let's see here. Just take a quick look for a second and just think, let's think, okay. So we're going to want to increase our trade route capacity. So the city here having, a market would be very beneficial here. Because then another trade route we can send down from here and, in Gangneung, and that city will be able to grow a little bit. So let's go ahead and consider that as an option. So we'll go this into that. Amenities are right now more of a core priority. We're very far behind on amenities, so we need to be able to kind of keep that in control, because if we don't, then we are going to have rebellion potential. So we want to avoid that as long as we are able to. Seoul here, let's go ahead and pick up, workshop. Workshop wouldn't hurt. Also give us just a little bit more great engineer points, so it doesn't really hurt in any way. So this will help. Some positive things here. We did get another
The
trade
rulers
route
have gone,
done,
you
so
must
that is
not lose
excellent.
faith in
We
humanity.
do have access to humanism.
Humanity is like
We
an
are going to
ocean.
want to consider getting
If a few
invention.
drops of the
We also
ocean are
have
dirty,
access to the
the
museums,
ocean
and we
does
will
not
want to make the Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal will be an absolute critical priority, so go ahead and think about where we can put that down that's going to provide us good bonuses. And the answer to that question is right here. It's an excellent place for that. We are one turn away from a spy, so let's do the spy first. We'll get a little bit of overflow production. This city is 3 turns. Okay, so if I go here, that brings that down. This trader, we're going to go ahead and you go to Gangneung. That'll help that city just start to grow a little bit and also relieve some of that pressure. That's what we're looking for, and also just help that soon get done a little sooner. So we're in a good position there. We have much of what we need. We're going to have to keep these cards for a while until we get enough population to kind of counteract those negative population issues. We did get our first spy, so what we're going to do is we're going to take them around here and then apply a loyalty debuff. Wouldn't hurt. We do want to be careful. So once we, that's losing loyalty again. Yeah, that's going to be kind of a running problem for this until we get more loyalty, or until we get more population going in some of these other cities. Let's see, is there anything? If we do 4 food, that wouldn't be bad. That would actually be semi-decent. But the only problem is that we would need production as well. So this city is going to need more production and it's going to need food. So we'll do that. That'll grow pretty quickly and that'll help the production. The spy, I'd like you to go ahead and probably make your way over somewhere over here. You know, we could probably make, let's see, where is she strong? She's more a little bit strong in, seems like culture output. So we could probably pick up a great work of some kind. But that's going to be a pretty low chance for us. And then this city, we'll go ahead and consider doing that. So that's perfect. We are going to go ahead and get the Taj Mahal started here. And then once we have the means and the turn to get our industrial zone going, we're going to go ahead and get that set up as our next priority. So once we have another population here, that will provide just a little bit of pressure here. That's what's going to help. Really, in order for us to keep these cities in the long term, we're going to have to get out of like the Dark Age situation and really do something about it. So Taj Mahal, it's going to be very, very helpful for us to get a little bit of era score. Good. So that's going to give us 1 era score here. That's going to help. And then you're going to go up north here. You're going to stay here. Loyalty here will actually, like once we have another population, that will apply a little bit of pressure here. Eventually, we would like to force this city to convert. It wouldn't hurt to have this city. Actually, it would very much help us right now at this stage of the game. Because in order for us to remain competitive in our science output, we're going to really need those. For the time being, now we have access to industrial zone. We'll place this right here for now. It's going to turn into +4 once we have everything available. So it's not to worry. Doesn't look good right now, but it will get much better once we have things running. So he is established. That's what we need. Problem is that we're not able to maintain loyalty very easily, so it's going to be a little bit of work for us. We may consider going ahead and just buying the granary here, or in this city we'll do is we'll actually buy the granary so that way we can get our population growth. The reason for that is so that way it grows faster. The faster it gets up in population, the more loyalty positive pressure it puts here and also puts here. Next thing up is we're going to look onto what districts we need to complete. So main thing is industrial zone and entertainment complex. This city is just a super slow growing one, so not very much I can do to get this better. You know, I may just consider at some point taking the loss of turn and oil. Yeah, so that's 27 production. We probably want to just go ahead and buy, buy the granary. Just help that city grow a little bit. It just takes way, it's just taking way too long. I can actually find a much better deal for that. We do have 2 more slots available, so we're going to go ahead and try to fill those in now. Him doing that actually is a nice little reminder to pick that up. We do have... Good, so we met Hungary. Hungary has a decent sized military and he has good culture and science output. So there's Australia. I'm not saying where Hungary was. But we did, oh, that's why. Is yeah, a unit that was discovered by it. Okay. Since we do have 4 envoy points, we can go ahead and put a little bit into that. Construct a sail one, we're gonna have that. And civil engineering, the civic for that is a little further up ahead right here. 7 different specialty districts. So if we take a look at, if we press 9 for empire, so we have science and culture, we have industry, we're going to have entertainment, we already have one of those. We have religion, so we have about 5 or 6 right now. And we eventually are going to have aqueduct, so that's going to be another point towards that, so that's okay. And then positioning, that's not bad. Let's see here. Let's take suzerainty. That way we get a little bit more of our Diplo favor going in. And then still another unmet player. It's going to take a lot of work for us to be able to recover that and get that, but not really concerned. We'll hold on to what we have for now. In the meantime, we do have entertainment complex completed with also our arena, so that's going to provide us a little bit of amenities and help us kind of just bring the amenity problem back in check. It's really what we want to be careful about is just keep an eye on that, make sure that we're okay. A city here wouldn't hurt. Unfortunately, it's going to fall into a little bit of loyalty trap, so we want to be careful about that. That will recover in time, so we're just going to hold on to that until we can get close to securing another age here, and then we'll do that. That way we can at least be sure like there's less of a chance that we'll have to worry about the long-term ramifications of a bad era. We could go ahead and pick up a Watcha if we want to pick up 4 era score, or 3 era score rather. We send aid, the only one that sent aid still, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and we'll probably pick up some campus research grants, or we could probably, actually, bread and circuses isn't going to do anything. Yeah, we will want to, I have a better idea. So we'll do campus research grants. In this city, I will go ahead and do the bread and circuses, and that'll apply a little bit of pressure because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to be very little, but it is positive for us. In a turn, we are going to pick up another population, which will apply a little bit more pressure here. So if we go to loyalty right here, if we press the 8 key, we'll see next turn what that's going to look like, and we'll have a better picture of where we're at. So, got a great person, computers, and good. So that's actually not a bad one. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and pick that up. Get computers and combustion. So that's not bad. Combustion. We go down to the tree here. It's right here. Movement for embarked units. Golden Gate Bridge is pretty good, but it's kind of like specialized for a specific playstyle, so if you're not really going for it, it's not really that practical. We're going to pick up a couple amenities here. The earlier we do that, the better. You only value that by 4. Get a little bit extra gold out of that. And what we'll do is in this city, help it grow so we can get more population pressure. We'll just pick that up. It's a little delayed, or really a lot delayed, but we'll just do that so that way we have it available. We'll go ahead and get another amenity. But now we're starting to get in control of our game now. Now that we had the early game losses in religion because we over-focused our religion against Brazil, and we put ourselves in kind of more of a compromised position. So that's okay. We'll just have to make use of that and just allow us a little bit more tempo to kind of build off of. And that's no problem. Now we're in a situation where we are getting enough population to apply better positive loyalty pressure. Now we're rising. And a lot of the loyalty issues specifically come from putting down a city. When you make a new city, it starts off obviously at 1 population. That is when the city is going to feel the pressure a lot, and you generally can feel the pressure the most, outside of the factor of course, what age you're in. But, you know, that's six loyalty right here, 8 loyalty, you know, and another bit of loyalty here that's being applied in this area. And so as we build more of a population here, this will continue to whittle away that loyalty. Because again, remember, this is surrounded by cities. So we could probably put it, you know, you could always put another city down if we're really wanting it, but really it's not going to provide us very much of a tangible benefit. Plus there aren't any places I can build a city, so it wouldn't really be a great city in the first place. So if we click on hills, there are no examples of hills here in that position, so that means that in this position here, what we want to do is we want to continue to build a little bit more of our culture here. It's going to require a lot of gold per turn. So let's go ahead and let's see what kind of deals he likes. So that's 1. He values that a lot. So let's give him, you know, 20 of that. See, that's going to be a good bit. So if we reduce that to 15 and give 30, it actually goes to 9 per turn. Okay. Go back to 20. And that's a much better setup. Now we have a little bit more we could work with. We're going to get some good culture, and we're going to get a little bit of science out of that. So, all positives. We also will want to look for anywhere we could pick up any good ones that'll provide us 4 and 4. Not seeing that at the moment. Okay. So he wants a good bit of gold per turn out of that. So not a really good thing for us to be having a major drought there, but as long as it's not impacting these other tiles over here, we'll be okay. So Gongju having this happen, we're basically what we're gonna have to consider is the spy that we put down over here. We're gonna immediately have to just shift them back over. So the spy is gonna take a little bit, 2 more turns to get over there. We're gonna bring them back and then start doing defensive missions. Because if we can catch the AI and a little trickery here, where they're gonna try to do it again, seeing a potential free gold, you know, type of route, we can utilize that as a way to kind of get a little XP on that guy too. So let's do that. Loyalty now will not be a concern for the time being this game. We're in a better position than we were in before. Prove that. We're at 3.6 loyalty positive. Now, if we take one of these things off, that will cause us to lose some loyalty. So we just want to be a little careful of that, you know, in that position. Here, let's go ahead and get the market going here. Since we did get, you know, this going, we can actually go ahead and do bread and circuses. Bread and circuses wouldn't be a bad thing. It'll apply a little bit of loyalty pressure. But we also do want to pick up potentially another let's see, that's only 480 gold, so it's actually not that bad. We'll go ahead and just buy that. So that's not a problem with us. We are in a better amenity situation than we were before. So pretty happy there. Always glad to take that in that situation. It just basically puts us in a spot where we can actually do more with that. Okay, before we get that, we will actually want to pick up something for industrial zones, so we will do that for industrial zones. I don't mind dumping a lot of them into that. But then, let's see here. We'll do T. Mega Claw. Oh, even better, and I lost the population. Perfect. Perfect. So you, I'm afraid you're going to have to go ahead and just head back to... also noticed our gold per turn went down a pretty significant amount. And that was because of that. That's because of that. Let's go ahead and first get that repaired. Six tiles gained. It's funny that Matterhorn's next to that. So... oh, that's why. It completely destroyed this. These tiles are pretty damn good, though. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to build another builder, get this fixed up. I don't see how I would lose. Oh, you know why? It's because the trade route that I was getting from other means, from the World Congress session. That's why. Okay, that's no problem. Just had to take a second to realize and see what it was that actually I was getting from that. Yeah, that'd be a +2. That's not worth building. Not at all worth building. It's just way too low of a value. Plus, also, these tiles are extremely nice. I mean, a 2-4, a 3-3, it's just absolutely no reason for me to rid that tile. What we were going to want to consider doing is we'll go ahead. Reserve isn't going to be very useful there. Soon isn't going to do anything major. The city's going to be very slow growing, so let's go ahead and just pick that up. It'll give us a little bit more food growth in that city and help us get back on our feet. Let's pick that up. You know, that way we can get that sorted out. We did lose population, so unfortunately because we lost population, that's probably where we lost some of our tempo. We're okay on loyalty pressure. Okay, so we just got a super important card right here. Governors provide a little bit more loyalty. We can live without that now. So then we could take that off. And our science output is going to just continue to build a little bit at a time. It'll help us get us properly going. Loyalty is going to continue getting better because we're about to get more population on top of what we have. And the more population that we get, the more pressure that will apply to this region here. So that's just what we're looking for. I may consider, let's first get this repaired and fixed. I may even consider putting another mine there too, just to even further boost our production yield since we're getting, 5 food there. Might as well get 5 production with it. And then fix that up. Like the yields in some of those tiles is absurdly high. Let's go ahead and pick up that. And then once we have the industrial zone in our capital, we'll be able to really amplify our general production purposes. So we did meet our goal. We did get rationalism. It doesn't seem like it's going to be benefiting us much at the moment, but that will in time. Do not worry. So what we want to do is consider our government type. Monarchy isn't bad, for the fact that we have walls and we need housing. In this position, what we'll do is consider what we have available. You know, we have kind of our general needs covered, so we're doing okay there. Let's go ahead and consider picking up something like, you know, could pick up mercantilism so we can get a couple of things going. That wouldn't hurt. That's okay. This would be useful, but that's only once we really have our our stockpile needs being, you know, affected. Two envoys wouldn't hurt. We'll go ahead and go here just for now. The reason being is so that way we can pick up another governor title. So overall, you know, happy with our growth. We had some challenges that we've been facing, you know, that we're working on. Really is a major goal to get this city, though. I'm going to continue pushing hard to get to that. Special session here. Let's see what it's for. Aid request. It's for an unmet player somewhere. We have more envoys to work with, so we'll go ahead and put 3 and 3 into that. That'll help our general commercial hub needs. So once we have this city properly growing, the commercial hub will be able to actually like have good utility. So that's better. Let's go ahead and just pick up Celestial Navigation. It actually is going to help us as well, because once we have another population, we can put that down somewhere that's going to provide us good food output. Some of these cities are going to need, you know, food and housing, and that's going to get provided by that. So these cities will be able to grow a little more effectively. Like this city right now is lagging behind. Like our cities are going to need that for coastal cities to get the additional growth. So let's make use of that. Because once we have a lighthouse, once we build a harbor and then buy the lighthouses, these cities will start to really start popping off the way I want them to. So this is great. That has plenty more. Even though we took that card off, we have still a pretty good amount of positive loyalty pressure. It's just what we're looking for. And we're going to go ahead and counter spy for that. That's perfect. Alright, everyone. Thank you for your time. And we are definitely making good inroads for where we want to be. And I'm really happy with that. But that'll be the end of this episode here. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe for more content. We'll keep the daily content going. Y'all have a good one, and SpeeDMan out.